Hey there, and welcome back to We Don't Do Boring and Andy's podcast, where we all know creation begins with destruction. And why? Because this is my spot on the little blue dot, and I'm very good at destruction, as most people will tell you. Yes, right. So anyway, this is our podcast is about 6 things. There's always a number, yes, for those of you who missed the early ones. 3 ways to do this, 10 ways to do that, yeah, whatever. Anyway, it's just 6 subjects which affect you every day of your life. And they are time, money, balance, compromise, communication, and experience. Most of all, experience. I do this to help people with my experience. I do this to communicate in a better manner, which I'm still attempting to do. Yes, I know. Still trying to stay to the point. Yes, I know. And but what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about saving time and money through balance and compromise, using experience. Wow, that's a lot of subjects. Woo! And I'm communicating to this to you, looking into my empty camera in my empty room in my empty house, hoping there's somebody out there who's going to comment. And while we're doing that, comment, subscribe, please share the video, because it might help somebody. You never know. And I've been helping a few people lately with individual little things, and it's been very fulfilling. One person is, how can I say, was having a struggle sorting out the nature of things to do first, because she has got so many things on, and they're great. She got some great ideas as well. I mean, really wonderful. One thing she runs is, I've never heard of it, it's really good, young aviators, teaching kids about planes and, but how they work and everything to do with it, weather systems, and it's fabulous. Yeah, very, very good. So, but she was struggling with the order of things and to try and make sense of changing lanes from steady employment to part-time employment to self-employment to, and that's been really fulfilling. And she's great, yes. And she's got some she's got some great ideas, and she gets on with it. She really does work hard. So I'm gladly help her if I can and give her advice, because that's what I have to do. So work hard. So anyway, what we're going to talk about today is the economy. The economy is in a dreadful state all over the planet. It's not just here. I'm not whining about the US economy. I don't do politics and religion. They're both boring, and every side is always right. That's why I don't talk about them. We have what we have. It doesn't matter what somebody says about what's going to happen and, the economy's doing this, and it doesn't matter. What's in front of you, in front of your eyes, is what matters. The rest of it is like blah, 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 blah. I don't want to listen to blah, blah. So I don't watch the news or any of that stuff. So, but the economy, but it reminded me, I've just put my prices up. And people said, you put your prices up? No, you should be reducing them. Get yourself more business. Right. Well, I'm in the luxury market, not the necessity market. So if you're trying to sell fish and chips and, or whatever, you're selling restaurant food and one guy's $9.99 and you make it $9, or you introduce a loss leader, it's volume and turnover. It's nothing to do with my business. My business is luxury. So it's 2 completely different worlds. So if you're in the turnover volume world, this video probably isn't for you. But it could be. It could be, because I've seen this before. I was introduced to this concept by a great friend of mine, somebody I grew up with. And hello, Gary, if you're out there. Yeah, this is your fault, mate. So some of the stuff you did tell me did sink in. Now, Gary used to sell toys, of all things, and one of the things is when he had something that wouldn't move, he showed me one day, he said, right, we're going to get it moving now. It's 99 pence or whatever it was. We're going to make it $1.99. And things would start selling. And I'm like, what? How does that work? Anyway, so you have to reach the price point where the value seems worth it. I mean, your value has value to people, which is not the right way to put it, but I haven't got better words. Anyway, so we've all got the same problems with inflation, the economy, especially the post-COVID economy, which seems to be very strange. But I attribute that to the money. All the free money is gone. All the unemployment money, all the extra money, all the grants, values, living at home, not having to drive a second car. People had a lot more money. Well, now they've had to go back to work, and all the free money has disappeared. Well, there's nothing extra to spend anything on, especially not vacations, when you're worried about your job. If you're in that market, you're worried about somebody taking your job. That's why Americans don't go on holiday, don't go on vacation, except for 1 week a year. because somebody's going to steal their job if they took too many days off, which I think is, Anyway, so it's just a different system here. It's all driven by work. So, and I'm driven by work. I like working. I have a job I love. So inflation is not. Somebody said to me the other day, well, it's only about 7%. We're okay. Really? My coffee used to cost $4, and now it costs $7.30. Right? No. Inflation's at 100%, not 7. At the end of the line, because of course they make the coffee, they bag the coffee, they transport the coffee, they sell it to me on the so the supermarkets are making out like bandits. I'm absolutely sure, because they're relying on the fact that people don't check, not like me, and they're making good money off the back of this supply chain, blah 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 blah, and it's amazing what we'll put up with. We'll put up with anything. So my business is very different to that, because I want to give a consistent, excellent service, and I strive for that. So if my costs go up, I've tried. I've just put my costs up because I have to. I'm just short on everything. So, in other words, it's the bottom line, my bottom line, which is not huge. I just can't sustain it at all. So I put my prices up, and somebody said, well, you're not going to get as many lessons now, because people want value. I said, yeah, but you're talking about price value. If they want price value, you can go to Walmart. Okay, I'm not in the Walmart market. That's not. I sell luxuries, not necessities, and I don't sell food. So and the worldwide recession it affects everybody. So one of the things it affects is vacation, because they are a luxury. So the one thing I find is time is money. Okay, we've all heard the old saying. It's very important these days, because you can waste your time being busy. We've all heard busy work, and you run around like a headless chicken, reduce your prices, do more work, and earn less money. It's as simple as that. You can work harder and earn less. And if you're in a turnover business and you have to turn things over, yep, well, that's where you are. You just got to work harder for less and turn more tables over for less, unless you decide to put your prices up. Because people on vacation do have money to spend, but the necessities are shelter and food. So they are the turnover businesses, whereas mine's the luxury. When you get there, what are we going to do? So, and it's a balance and a compromise. I've had to compromise. One of the tools I sell I can't get anymore, so that's it. I can't source it. One of the other things is the balance is how hard I want to work because I'm older, versus employing somebody else to do the work for me. And that balance is very difficult. I'm trying to help somebody, and they're being very, very good. They're excellent at what they do. And I'm very happy with that. But I can't take somebody else on. Oh yeah, hire somebody else, Andy. Where I work is extreme. Okay, people think, what a fun day, go out on the beach and build sandcastles. Good, try it for 7 days in a row, being on the beach for 6 to 7 to 8 hours. Plus an hour each way traveling and packing up and all that. It's quite tough. So a lot of people will not stand. They can't stand the heat and the weather and a lot of stuff like that. So it's not easy to find replacements, and it's not easy to find, to replace me. Oh dear, yeah, that's a short rope. Anyway, so it's about whether your business is based on money or turnover, whether you're trying to get new business. People are always on about new customers, new. Well, that's fine, but what about looking after your existing ones? And I've found I've had a lot more rebookings this year, because existing clients already know the value I provide. They already know that it will cost more. And it does. So they're not bothered about that, because their experience was good last time, and they know I present good value for money. And it's the only thing on South Padre Island where you can do as an entire family together. So I provide that level of experience and value in that grandma and the 3-year-old can be on a beach together and do something together. And that's the value I provide. So, and it's, as I said, it's necessity versus luxury. They all have to go for lunch, but they don't all have to book sandcastle lessons. So the point to me putting my prices up is that you have to look deeper to save money by gaining value. Now, I recently ran into a lady on the beach who was not very happy. She booked a hotel, and when she got there, the up charges on her account were huge. I mean, it basically nearly doubled it. all the hotel fees and the resort fees and the parking charges, and they just nickeled and dimed her to death. She was not happy at all. And, she said, and we were talking, and she said, what would you do about it? I said, go to the front desk and let them have it. Because it's not right, if you were quoted one price. And we know it's a problem. It's called puffery, and they can claim whatever they want. And they can also price things without taxes and all the other things, without other fees. It might say plus fees. Well, you have to look very deep into that. I don't have fees. Yes, we have credit card fees. And I don't charge them. I don't get any money from credit card fees. That's the price of doing business for me. I have to take cards. I have to book in advance. You're not allowed to take money on the beach. So I do that, and I take money in advance, and the client pays one portion of the credit card charge, and I pay the other. So it's a cost of doing business. So I put my prices up, but when people look into it, they've called me. I've had a lot of calls lately where they say, well, that's out of our price range. I said, well, I understand budgets completely, thank you. And I said, I appreciate you calling me. But I said, one of the things you need to do is think about the value we provide in terms of time and the fact that everybody in the family can participate. So if you want a real family activity, that's what we provide. We're not the cheapest. We're the expensive end of the deal. And we pride ourselves on teaching people a lot of stuff in a lesson. And including science and math and all that other stuff, especially when kids don't want to do that because they're on vacation. So we quote we quote a guy called Michelangelo, and somebody apparently once said, it's all hearsay, apparently once said, what are you doing, Michelangelo? And he said, ancora imparo. And that means still I am learning. So anybody who thinks they shouldn't be doing math on vacation, wrong answer. Anyway, there you go. So what I've done is put my prices up and then explain to people why the price is high and what value we provide. You get a free toolkit with your lesson, which means you can carry on for an entire week and build sandcastles because we've given you all the tools. We either lend you buckets if it depends what lesson you've got and where you are, your situation, or if you want to really have a go, you can rent. We do a bucket rental service where you can rent everything and carry on and do it yourself. So we're providing a level of skill which you can use for the rest of your life. We're not providing an experience based on a one-time deal. I don't consider what I do a one-time deal. I want to train the next generation. I'm old. That's why this is this color. Okay? And I want to train the next generation. And the short-sighted people always say to me, aren't you just training somebody to take your job? I said, well, I hope so. And they always look at me and go, what? I go, I don't care. The whole point is I get enjoyment from teaching people and they get enjoyment from their experience. So there's no downside to that. If some guy wants to, in 10 years come back to the island and say, you taught me, Andy, I want to start a business here, great, go for it, pal. I've even told people that in front of everybody, go for it. And the man who runs one of the bigger operations in Florida came and had a lesson off me before he started. And now he runs a big operation in Florida, but he's completely paranoid about people stealing his work. Well, there's a lot more people in Florida on vacation, so I don't know why you're worried. If you provide a great service and do a great job, well, people will stick with you. And if they're looking at price, well, you're in the wrong game anyway. You either provide value through price or you provide value through price, but on the low end of the scale. I don't do that. So there you go, you see. And one of the things I did notice, the reason for this is looking deeper, is that last summer it started slowing down. I knew it was going to be slow because when I got to Christmas last year, I had 15 lessons in December, and this year I had 2. So I knew the economy was slowing down because people weren't coming on vacation. I stand a good chance. My physical marketing and my digital marketing work together. I stand a good chance of getting in front of visitors' eyes when they visit the island, when they come to South Padre, because I make sure my marketing is in front of you. But if the visitors don't come, I ain't getting in front of anybody. So that's why my business is very niche. And people who say we can drive more leads to you, it's nonsense. More leads? From where? If people aren't coming to the island, I don't work anywhere else. So I'm a very, very small cog, so you can't drive more leads to me that make any difference unless you can force people to go on vacation. Terrible being forced to go on vacation, isn't it? But that's the premise of this. You have to look deeper into what you want to provide as a service, or you have to look deeper as a customer into what you're actually getting. Read the small print. You have to search deeper into what you're getting. And then work out the math. It's all about the math. It never lies. Because people said to me, well, we can do all sorts, we're going to go horse riding, we're going to go kayaking. Okay, 5 people on horses, 5 people on kayaks, you're paying what you pay me. And I can do all the family in one go. Nobody has to stay in the hotel room or sit by the pool. They can come and all have a lesson at the same time. So, and we've proved it many, many, many times. And that's what I love about it. We can prove what we do just through, like we do with the science. We can prove it through economy, and we can prove it through the joy of grandmothers and mothers and dads who pay me and say, wow. A dad yesterday, he looked lost for the first half an hour. And then he got into it, and he just stood back at the end. I said, well done, Dad. I said, what do you think of that? And he said, I've never seen anything like this. He said, and I've never done anything this good on a beach in my life. And he didn't smile, mate. He was one of those guys, very singular expression. And he shook my hand and said, thank you. Thanks for doing that for my family. And his wife took me to one side before she left, and she said, that's high praise from my husband. He doesn't say much about anything. So for him to thank you like that, you did a good job. So I said, thank you. That makes me feel happy. So, and that's what I do it for. I feel content that I've given people value, and the price is irrelevant. So people said, you put your price up. I said, yeah, well, my price for a 3-hour lesson is $650. Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Not really. For 10 people, $65 each for 3 hours? No. That's not a lot of people. $20 an hour per person. It's nothing. So, not in terms of what you're going to pay anywhere else. 10 people go out for a meal. You're not getting out of there for $200 just to eat. So it makes a lot of difference. So people talk about it, and so I noticed the decline. I also noticed what was happening on my bottom line because of the material cost increases through inflation. So you have to take your own business into account. You can't just be nice. Yeah, I'd like to keep all my prices exactly the same as they were 10 years ago. Wouldn't that be marvellous? You can't afford to do it. You'll go broke. Also, you won't have any time to yourself. You won't be able to do anything because you'll just be working for nothing. And I've done that before. My experience, when I first started as an artist, I worked all the hours God sent. I got job after job after job after job. I got to the end of the first year and I thought, this is useless. All my equipment was worn out. I had no money. I had a family as well, but I was feeding my family and earning money to pay the rent and doing all that. But I had nothing, and my equipment was worn out, and I thought that the rate I get a day is ridiculous. So I thought, this just doesn't pay. This is somebody else's idea of how much money I need to earn. And after my experience in the insurance industry, where I realized there wasn't any limit, I basically trebled what I cost a day. And then I put it up again after that. So, it's $600 a day if I'm going to go out and do artwork. So that's what I charge, plus expenses. I don't pay any of my own expenses. You pay for gas and all my other stuff. And that's what I charge because I have a unique skill. I go out and use that skill and you pay for it, and that's the end of it. But people who can afford it don't question the price. They just say, yeah, we want this. I recently made a horse out of a tree over in Comfort, Texas, and the people were not bothered. They wanted a horse. And they were very patient, and they were just first class. I mean, so many of my customers are great. The Lambermont Angel in San Antonio is another thing you should pop and see. And just wonderful people, salt of the earth. They knew exactly what they wanted. I tried to give them what they wanted, and they said I had. And so I provided value. It didn't matter if it was thousands of dollars. That's not the point. They got exactly what they wanted. So... one of the things you've got to do is you have to look deeper, because the surface impressions people give you are not correct, okay? So on my island, there's lots of hotels and condo blocks and everything else. And if you ask a hotel owner how it's going, they'll say, oh, fantastic, we're really busy. It's always busy, flat out. Wrong. How do I tell that it's wrong? I don't know anything about their business. I've never seen their accounts. I just look at their parking lot. So July 4th weekend, there wasn't one hotel on the island that had a full parking lot. Funny that, eh? Yeah, it's because they're not full. They'll tell you they're full in order to drive demand. People say they're full, we've got to get a hotel somewhere. Just book one. And they'll get nickel and dime to death, and they won't get any value because they're just paying the price the hotel wants them to pay. But my piece of advice to visitors who ask me about hotels is I say, number one, if you've got a really big group, look into renting a house because hotels are expensive. And also you can cook and do all the other things and be together as a family. And then the other thing is, if the hotel doesn't give you the price that's stated on the internet or anything else, just say, well, just quote one of the other hotels. You know, if the East of the Grand doesn't do it, tell them you're going to Margaritaville. If Margaritaville doesn't do it, tell them you're going to the Marriott. Marriott's giving you a better price. And you'll have a funny change of attitude then. They'll say, well, what price is a Marriott room? Well, they just quoted me $75 a night. Oh, great. And you're asking $95. Well, it's no good. If you can match them, I'll come to Margaritaville. But, you know, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. A, B, C, D, E, F, who cares? But nobody ever tries that. You know, they'll complain at Walmart or take something back that cost $1.50, but they won't ask a hotel for it because the rate's the rate. No, it isn't. Hotels change their rates every minute, literally. They work on trends run by algorithms, and they can see how many people are traveling to the island. They know what the trend is. So they change their hotel rates. For example, August the 14th, when most people's kids have to be back in school who do any sort of sporting stuff or anything else, if you have to be back in school, it's August the 14th. So August the 14th on the South part of the island, the hotel rates drop like a stone. Literally, bang, they'll go from $300 a night, which is... we'll talk about that value later. 300 a night to 179 or 159 or 129 because the bookings just drop off the face of the planet. So, because, families who've got money to travel have usually got kids who want to do things, and they're usually in school. So the rates just decline, and we haven't even got a Labor Day anymore. It's funny, the old season used to be Memorial Day to Labor Day. Yep, when I first came to America 20 years ago, that was the case. But nope, not anymore. It's now, my season didn't even really get going until July 4th weekend this year. It was so late. And that's how I know people are not traveling. The gas prices are up. There's another inflationary thing. Do you know how much gas changes around here? 75 cents a gallon on busy weekends. I mean, that is outrageous. It's just price gouging. And somebody should call them out, but they never do. They just say, oh, it's what happens. People just take it, you know. They never stand up for anything. And so I'm outraged by that. It's terrifying. It's no wonder we can't get visitors here, because it's at the weekends it's packed. So the only people we get are locals. And locals do not spend money on luxuries, I can assure you. So there you go. But it's the hotel parking lots were not full, and they're not full now. And that's how I tell. I use my eyes. Really? You don't talk to some hotel owner who's going to tell you what you want to hear. Oh, yeah, it's very busy. Yeah. Oh, you got nothing left. Never. There's never been a hotel invented that hasn't got a room left. Thank you. So there you go. And so, but do they provide value? I have no idea. I've no idea because I don't stay in hotels. But the other thing is, I would go to a hotel that was price driven, and you get what you pay for. And that's it. So, but you can drive the price down to virtually nothing if you want to stay in a flea pit. So that's it. You know, you have to cut your cloth. You either decide whether it's value through price or value through value for what you get. So, and I like to think I'm on the top end of that. And I'll blow my own trumpet any time and put myself against anybody to prove it. But that's it. Basically, look deeper to save money. You think that it's not worth reading the fine print? Well, you should. And you should also compare other prices. And then when somebody says, that's all we've got, you just say, well, look, I've just rung this hotel, or I've just rung this company, and they can do it for this. Why not? You do it with everything else. But when people go on vacation, it's very strange. They don't seem to question hotel rates or anything else. Some people do, and they get a better deal. But not many. It's surprising to me that they'll fight for other things, but when they go on vacation, they just expect to pay. And I think you have to look at that. When you've got your own business, are you providing value by price? Are you in it for the turnover? Or are you providing value for money? And that's what I do. I like to think that I do that. And because it's a unique thing that we do. So we're in a very small market. So when the traveling slows down, we notice a lot. Because people's physical bodies are not on our island. So there you go. Look deeper to save money and time. Don't waste your time by trying to save money by getting cheaper and doing busy work. That's a waste of space. And I can tell you from pure experience, you'll just be very tired and very fed up, and you won't have any money. And you will have to compromise. in what you do, and you will have to find a balance to how hard you want to work and how much money you want to earn. It may be this year that you actually make less. If you're running your own business, I'm talking about, you actually make less money. Now, if you make less money, but you work fewer hours, have you lost anything? Or have you got more time for yourself? Have you got more time for marketing? Have you got more time for improving your service? Have you got more time to look at things that you don't really like, but you could improve? Yes, you have. So that gives you value. That's, earning less money, but from earning less via turnover. If you put your prices up, you may earn less money because you do fewer things, but you will have more. You will have gained time to improve yourself and your business, and look at the things that will make it better in the future when the economy recovers. And it's going to be a long time. If you think the price thing is going away, you're wrong. And it's going to be years before things catch up, And obviously, I appreciate people who work, they haven't got enough money, and that's it. Vacations are expensive. So, but there you go. I would look deeper to save money by gaining more time for yourself. Also, learn how to balance and compromise your own operation so that you can earn more money from doing less work. Sounds very grand, that. Oh, Andy says you can earn more money by doing less work. No, I spend more time on marketing when I'm not working than I do when I'm working. So it's just time I'm using for myself to improve my business and give a service to you, do YouTube videos for technique, making sure more people can enjoy themselves wherever they are. I haven't got a thing you have to come to me. I mean, but it's great that it does. Years ago, just to finish, years ago I did a video, on how to get the trash can off by yourself. Now, the lady who asked me to do that, because she was on a beach in San Francisco somewhere, or in the Bay Area, couldn't get the bucket off by herself. I made a video, showed her how to do it. It was extremely windy when I did that. And she is actually coming to South Padre, finally, after years and years and years, to see what our sand is like and build a big sandcastle. So it'll be wonderful to meet her, yeah. But she rang me like a long lost friend, said, "Andy, remember me?" And it was like years ago I did the video, and I said, "Nope." She said, "I'm the gal from California who couldn't get the bucket off." And I was so thrilled to talk to her. It was absolutely lovely. And so she's going to come to South Padre, only for a weekend. So it's a big trip. It's an expensive trip to come and find out what sand is like. But she said, "This is my bucket list. I've wanted to do this ever since I watched that video." So she said, "I want to see what this sand is like that you talk about all the time." So there's another thing for you. If you think building sandcastles doesn't generate economy, okay then. So there you go. So saves time and money for yourself by looking deeper into what you're doing and what you're doing yourself, as well as what you're providing for others. Do you provide value through price, or do you provide value for money? Because people's attitudes have changed post-COVID. They're looking for better experiences, and they're looking for better value. So that's it. Yeah. End of Andy tourism rant. So hope you're okay. Please keep comments going. Please subscribe, obviously. Smash the notification bell. and have a good time. Be safe, and it'll be great to hear your comments, and one day meet you on the beach. Okay. So I'm going to sign off from my little spot on the blue and green dot. And remember, creation begins with destruction, and we don't do boring. I'll see you next time. Bye. So, welcome to the Lambermont Angel. It's a red oak tree, 129 years old. Absolutely stunning piece of wood. I was very fortunate. I haven't done a signature piece like this for a long time. So, she just flowed. The wings are already there. The branches are in the right place. I mean, it's so rare you get to do a piece like this. And very grateful. And it's just beautiful. And the backdrop, I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't get anything better than that. So there she is, Lambermont Angel, San Antonio. And really happy. Had a great time. And we're not quite finished. We've got to seal it and do all that stuff. But yeah, just wonderful piece of wood to work on, and bring the movement out and have some fun. So there you go. Boom. And the wings are nice and powerful. And this is what we used. A couple of chainsaws, angle grinders, a few sanders, So there she is. Yeah, had a great time. Beautiful. And the great thing is the reaction from the public, from the neighbourhood, been very, very supportive. So nice to work in a place where people appreciate it, and they love what the trees become, and they say it's improved the neighbourhood, which is fantastic. I love that. So yeah, like I say, haven't done a piece like this for a long time, and had a great time. So there you go, day 8 over with, and we just got to clean up and take down the scaffold and get it out of the way, because tomorrow's a day off. So there you go. All right, hope you had a good time. This is Andy Hancock, San Antonio, with the Lambermont Angel. Perfect.